Hey, what's up? It's Joe. Welcome to my 5 Minute Friday for October 20th. So I'm just hanging out in my hotel in Dubai right now. Finished up, gosh, a crazy 3 day speaking circuit at the Gitex conference. So Gitex is interesting. It's as far as I can tell, a conference put on by the United Arab Emirates, and it's huge. I think there's over 170,000 people in attendance at this conference. So it's easily the biggest conference I've ever been to. They say it's the biggest tech conference in the world, but we'll see. I think the Saudis and the UAE like to compete on who has the biggest tech conferences. So they're saying that Gitex in Africa, I think they hold it in Morocco. They're gunning for 300,000 in attendance. So anyway, it's crazy. I don't know where all these people come from, but a lot of the representation at this conference is from obviously the Middle East, some Europe, a lot of Asia, and Africa as well. So what's really cool is you get to see, meet a very diverse group of people that you would never really ever have a chance of meeting. So I think it was really cool. Met a lot of cool people here. Made a lot of great friends. So it's always the rewarding part about going to the far reaches of the planet for me. And but yeah, the thing I noticed at this conference is a huge push on AI. There's a governmental push here. There's even ministers of AI for these governments, and so they're taking it seriously. It was definitely the theme of the conference, which I think is pretty interesting. The thing I notice is the conversations around AI, or how would I put this politely, very wishy-washy. The way people are talking about it, I'm talking about vendors, I'm talking about, certain pundits, is that, AI is magically going to be here, today, and it will just transform your business magically. I've had the fortune or misfortune of having worked in a few machine learning hype cycles. I feel like this one is very similar. There are obviously practical applications of generative AI in terms of generating images, video, text, whatever. I think that's cool. But the big disconnect, and I was talking on a panel today about this, is when you attempt to put these, say, a large language model on top of your corporate data set. That could be your ERP system. That could be the various databases you have scattered around. I think this is where the big hurdle is going to be, and this is where this whole AI hype cycle that we're in right now is going to get a huge slap in the face of it's a big reality check. I mean, we can barely do proper business intelligence on top of a lot of these systems, and now you expect to throw a probabilistic system, something that is known to hallucinate, i.e. large language models. You're going to throw that on top of these data sets. I shudder to think what that will look like. But people seem to want to conveniently ignore this and just wave the hand and say, well, AI will just magically solve all the problems, right? And so it's interesting, I think, hearing just the sheer amount of BS coming out of a lot of people at these types of conferences. I think everyone's got an agenda. And the other thing I notice is very few of these people are actually practiced in data architecture, engineering, and have an understanding of just how hard this stuff is to do. I just think that there's a big disconnect from reality, to put it bluntly. But but I think at conferences like this is also very easy to pontificate and sound interesting and sound smart. But again, I live in reality. I know a lot of you do too, and so. I think on one of the panels I was on today, I was visibly annoyed at just the sheer amount of stuff I was hearing. Like somebody was talking about how the singularity is going to be here, and artificial general intelligence will be here within 7 years, as if you can put a date on it. I understand the singularity crew, they extrapolate on an exponential curve, and Ray Kurzweil, the founder of Singularity, feels that by 2030 AGI will be here. Hey, maybe it will, maybe it won't. My feeling on that is I think the world has some pretty big problems to figure out. If AI happens, terrific. If it helps us, great. If not, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on right now we need to be paying attention to. I don't think that we need to be wasting our time, living in fantasy land, We got a lot of work to do, I would say, in our day-to-day work as data professionals. The world seems to be in a very interesting spot. I can't tell if it's going to hell in a handbasket or what, but there's a lot of challenges, and we need to put a lot of our effort towards that. I don't think we need to be putting a lot of effort towards this Fantasyland BS of just it's just like weird land of make believe that some people seem to be living in right now. So, but I get it. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of money to be made pulling the wool over people's eyes, to be frank, and that's how it's been since since people were selling things to each other. So I just think a lot of this AI hype is a lot of it's a manifestation of it. And trust me, I'm like one of the biggest bulls when it comes to I think the long-term impact of AI. I mean, you won't meet somebody who's probably I think has more optimism for the long-term impact of it, but short-term. I could just see there's a ton of carnival barking at these types of events, and again, it's easy to pull the wool over people's eyes if you're talking to a non-technical crowd. People who don't understand, the barriers you're going to face. It's easy to make these pronouncements that AI will be here tomorrow and it'll solve all the world's problems. And I think AI has obviously potential to solve a lot of problems, but it's not just like you're going to throw it into a company and it just suddenly starts making all the decisions. I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to happen in between that, and making it work. So anyway, that's my rant. Like I said, I'm long-term very optimistic about AI, but I just think the sheer amount of hootenanny I see is, I can't believe I used the word hootenanny. It's pretty funny in itself, but kind of cranky right now. But anyway, I'm gonna go out on the town in Dubai, go walk around, see some cool stuff. It's an amazing city, a lot of cool architecture here. If you ever get a chance to come out here, it's a beautiful city. And then I'm gonna catch my flight back to the States at the wee hour of 1 a.m. So recording this on the Thursday. I leave on Friday morning. Get back in the States Friday afternoon. So anyway, hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.